Hi, Nicole.
Hey there, Annalisa. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Yeah. Actually, I'm not that good. If I'm being totally honest, I've been in a funk all weekend, and now I've got the Mondays. So I'm trying. I'm aiming for good.
Well, so far so good.
Yeah.
We're here.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love our topic today. It's timely, of course, and it's a topic that I revisit several times a year with almost all of my groups. And so my groups are usually related to recovery from drug and alcohol addiction. And the holidays can be a really tough time for everybody, but especially for folks that are fresh in recovery. And so, like, leading up to Thanksgiving, to the winter holidays, and then even like during the summer when we're talking about Independence Day and stuff like that, like it's always so important to just talk about what's happening, right? Like the holidays are coming. It's really hard for some people. Some of us want to celebrate and go crazy. Some of us want to hide away from the world, and like wherever you fall, like in between there, we need to talk about it.
Yeah, no, agreed. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So yeah, for those of us who are planning a quarantine holiday, which I think I'm hoping is most of us, um, how do we stay sane? How do we be like content and calm and good with what's going on in our world?
So, I mean, this is something that, like you're kind of talking about. I had to think about this weekend and for the past week of thinking of what holidays usually look like for a lot of us, of getting in the car, traveling, and going all over the place, seeing people we haven't seen in a while. And now that we're looking more at like a quarantine Thanksgiving and possibly a quarantine, other like winter holidays, and it's it's sad. Like, you want to see your family, you want to be able to share it with everybody that you're used to sharing it with. For me, the conversation really has been a lot like a conversation with myself, really, of radical acceptance of what's going
Mm-hmm.
on. And
Yeah.
what I mean by that is the situation that we're in, it stinks, right? Like, I mean, there's no two ways about it. We're in a situation that really is causing a lot of us great stress and anxiety and just like missing what life was like pre-COVID.
Right. We're sort of grieving a loss.
Absolutely. And with that, it's important to recognize those feelings that it is like a sucky situation that we're really trying to just do the best we can.
Mm-hmm.
And in this situation, it's really hard to just fully accept the situation and be like, okay, yep, this is it, and I'm just in full agreement with it, and here we go. Radical acceptance is more of being at peace with the situation and whatever that looks like for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and radical acceptance, that's a concept that comes from DBT.
Mm-hmm.
So for the viewers who don't know what that means, right? Dialectical behavioral therapy, right? It's an offshoot of CBT, right?
Yep.
And the concept of radical acceptance has helped an awful lot of people get through seriously debilitating situations, trauma, and just challenging life circumstances.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of it comes from control around the situation. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if I were able to snap my fingers now and make COVID go away,
Oh my
absolutely
gosh.
do
Yeah,
it.
we're all snapping.
Right. Like, we're all trying. And it puts a layer on the situation of like, I can't control what's happening right now. I can't control what's happening for my family. I can't control what's happening for my friends. Work looks different. Everything is just like a cluster of like, right. And in order to be able to just like live life right now,
Yeah.
it's more of that like that headspace of, okay, I'm experiencing the situation. I'm noting the situation. I am acknowledging how I feel about the situation, and I'm trying to find the way that I can keep going and feel that peace and not that constant anxiety, worry, stress all the time.
And not fall back into, maybe old coping coping techniques that were maladaptive for us. And by that, I mean, drinking a lot more wine than one usually would on what day is it? On a Monday.
Yep.
Or or substance use or overeating or whatever it is, right? Or undereating. Like there are things that we can do that might give us a false sense of control. And by actually saying, out loud, by practicing this radical acceptance and acknowledging, I feel really crappy right now. This is not fun. This is not a thing I want to do. We're sort of taking the power back and not falling back into old patterns that don't do us any service.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then it kind of brings up the thought of like, okay, so I have this thought of radical acceptance. Now what do I do? What does the holiday look like? Right?
Yeah. Right. Like, let's be practical, right? Like, are we Zooming with our grandparents? I guess so. We're going to figure it out.
Yeah. And that's a conversation I've had with my partner. We're doing a Thanksgiving dinner for 2 plus 1 doggo. And like, I mean, we'd be going to both of our, sides of the family. We'd be having it, either together or having like 2 separate, Thanksgivings the same day or, one after the other. And this year it's like, okay, well, like realistically, can we hop from house to house? Should we be hopping from house to house? Probably not. It's not safe for a lot of our, older family members and ourselves, so kind of being like, all right, how do we make this still a Thanksgiving and something that we can have for ourselves, but like also like kind of acknowledging the fact that it is going to be hard to not be around family and friends and the things that we're used to.
Yeah. Wow. You know what? Even just talking with you about this right now, I'm like starting to feel a little better. Like, you're so good. You should be a therapist.
I've been told that once or twice.
Yeah, no, there is something really healing about just talking about it, right? And just saying like, okay, this isn't fun and we're in it together and we're going to come up with the best possible solution within our circumstances.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we took it down to like bare basics of, okay, what does Thanksgiving look like for you? What kind of foods are you used to having? Because, from both of our families, it looks a little different. Like there's a turkey, but like, what are the sides? What kind of things are you used to having for like a dessert or the conversation? Or do you guys play games? Like I know on like my side of the family, like games are a big thing. So, what do we do to kind of bring in some of that, Thanksgiving spirit that we're used to having into a situation that just looks different and can be, again, being okay with the fact that like it might be like a hard Thanksgiving to go through and that it might not be all cheery, even, trying to put these things in that are reminiscent of what Thanksgiving looked like last year.
And at the same time, maybe we discover new ways of celebrating that actually bring us a different kind of joy than what we expected or what we had before. And so maybe it does turn out different and in some ways better. Who knows? I mean, Drago will be happy, right? Bam's going to be happy with all those table scraps. Benji's going to love it.
Yeah, like the leftovers for him are going to be awesome. He's having to share it with so many other people.
Silver linings, right? Well, so let's not forget throughout this week leading up to the holiday, during the actual holiday, and throughout the next couple of months, we got to keep practicing self-care, right? Keep calling the people that are important to us, checking in on each other, keep taking care of our bodies, nourishing ourselves, and nourishing our spirits with conversations like this.
Absolutely.
So I forgot to say at the beginning of the video, go to selfcaretips.org/free guide. And we've got some great information there about how to actually put your self-care ideas into practice. So yeah, selfcaretips.org/free guide. So Nicole, happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, you too.
And until next week, I'll see you again Monday around 1 o'clock for our next live stream.
Sounds great. I'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.